Tuesday, December 12th, 2023 meeting of the Denton County Commissioners Court. We're glad to have you all here, whether you're in person or tuning in online. At this time, I would like to welcome up Christiana Davis, and she is going to lead us in our prayer. And then following the prayer is going to be Kylie Schroeder is going to lead us in our U.S. pledge, and Gabby Davis is going to lead us in our Texas pledge. If you'll please stand, I'll remind everybody to turn off your cell phones.
Help me, O Lord, to please make the world a better place because thou hast made me. Hallelujah.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Nice job, ladies. Thank you. Well, thank you, Kylie and Gabby and Christiana. Thank you all so much for being here. And I enjoyed our AgriLife breakfast with you all this morning. The Commissioners Court all enjoyed that. At this time, I'd like to go to item 1 on our agenda, which is public input for items not listed on the agenda. And we have several people who have registered to speak. I'll remind everybody that we have a 3-minute time allocation for each one of our speakers. And I'll go ahead and call up our first one, which is Jessica Luther Rummel.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm glad to see that finally, after years of committed activism by Willie Hudspeth, this body is pursuing appropriate designations and recognitions from the Texas Historical Commission for St. John's Cemetery, a historic site where a large number of freed persons and their descendants who settled in Pilot Point after the Civil War are buried. That said, I'm here today to submit a report documenting land dealings from the first half of the 20th century, which ultimately led to the cemetery's encapsulation by surrounding private properties, which has made it largely inaccessible to the modern-day descendants of those buried within, as well as the Denton community at large and researchers. The primary purpose of this report, which is now available to any county resident who submits an open records request to this body, is to expose how St. John's Cemetery became landlocked and lost to history for more than half a century. As UNT researchers shared with this body 4 years ago, approximately 1.5 acres of land was purchased in the late 1800s by 3 trustees of St. John's Baptist Church, which served as the primary house of worship for African Americans in and around Pilot Point from the late 1800s until the late 1930s. As a result of this research, these 3 founding individuals became known to us for the first time as John Burton, Joseph Metters, and Abraham Lyles. Using this new information as a launching point, I began an in-depth analysis of land records to find that in 1918, white landowners had executed a deed of sale with overextended property lines that incorporated the St. John's Cemetery, which was then unlawfully included in subsequent sales from 1918 to 1938 between several more adjacent white landowners. While my research suggests that the cemetery's initial inclusion by way of inaccurate boundary lines in 1918 may have been accidental, a subsequent 1938 transaction involving Denton County Commissioner Hub Clark marks a unique point in time at which an unintentional mistake can no longer be surmised. Collectively, my research suggests that Denton County Commissioner Hub Clark was a mitigating force in circumstances which led to the St. John's African American community being denied access to their sacred space and subsequently to their ouster from the Pilot Point area altogether. Of course, this would not be the first time that shady land deals were employed in the region to enforce the Black community off of their land, as by now we all know the story of Quakertown. While further genealogical research is needed to identify the descendants of the original cemetery trustees who are the rightful heirs to the St. John Cemetery land and as such have a substantial legal claim to it. It is my hope that my report will be put to good use by anyone who finds themselves in a position to aid in reparations of yet another discovery and the ever unfolding legacy of Denton County's history of white supremacy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Next is Mr. Willie Hudspeth. Good morning, sir.
Commissioners, morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
My name is Willie Hudspeth. I live at 623 Newton. I noticed that you took me back a little bit in my thinking. You didn't look at Miss Luther, some of you. You looked at your paperwork, whatever that is. This is important. Good. This is important. People died. They were buried. They were ran off from their land by the Klan. By golly, I don't think that that's a time where you need to be looking at nothing but what's happening right here, I think. But maybe I'm wrong. But I noticed that some of the information that she gave was their land was stolen from them, and we have proof of it. Now, it's election year. So I know this because I've been in politics for a long time. You're not going to do anything to jeopardize your reelection or some people that you support for reelection. But I would like for it to be on record what you think so I can know how I should vote. What do you think about the land being stolen? What do you think about the borders being put there where they need to be? What do you think about the fact that we have no access? We can't get to the land because it's been wrongfully divided and separated. We can't get to it. What do you think about it? So I'm asking for you to put it on the agenda, like we did before when we were dealing with the Confederate monument, a soldier. But I know just like then, you're not going to do it. It's going to take several months, it could be years of asking. Put this on the agenda so we can then see how you're going to vote and what you think about this situation. Put it on the agenda so we can talk about it. So, you don't have to look at me either. My wife didn't look at me this morning either. She was mad at me. So I get it. Sometimes you just don't look at people. But I think that you did her a disservice. She had points she made, and they were necessary points to be made. How in the world would you like to be working for something all your life, and then somebody kills you or run you off from your land, and nobody says anything about it? That's what I think about the Jewish situation over there that they're fighting. And the other one, the other wars that we're looking at, those kids that are destroyed. Well, by God, you need to stop looking at that paperwork and look at the person that's talking, because it's important. Thank you for listening to me and not lynching me like they did my ancestors.
Thank you, sir.
That's what she gave us to look at. And since I'm experienced at Black history, I don't think anybody can just come up and tell me about Black history since I know about it also. I've experienced, I'm 75 years old, so I've experienced a lot of things, and so I don't have to look at papers to know what happened to me.
All right. Next is Janet Woodard. Ma'am? I can't hear you.
She says you'll wait.
You're going to wait? For what? Do you not want to speak today? Okay, you're not going to speak today. Okay, you had marked that you wish to speak. So, okay, so we're going to say chooses not to speak. Okay. All right. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Next is Chelsea Stallings. Good
Yes,
morning.
hi, good morning. My name is Chelsea Stallings. I live in Denton, Texas, 76209. I'm just, excuse me, I'm getting over an infection. I'm just following up on the comments, the presentation this morning by Jessica Luther Rummel, and following up on what Mr. Willie Hudspeth has said. I am a historian. I'm a doctoral student at Texas Christian University in Fort Worth. I'm actually going to be continuing, I spoke with Willie earlier this summer and address this body, that we're going to be continuing this research into St. John's. I'm actually starting my dissertation work this coming spring, where I'm going to be essentially trying to pull every land record, every deed record from the county. I met with the General Land Office down in Austin yesterday, and we're going to be working on this so that we can uncover all of the instances of white supremacy, harm to black people, black suppressions and oppressions in this county. So I am going to just echo their sentiments and their comments that we can please get this as an agenda item at a future meeting, because this is something that historians are going to continue working on. My longtime colleague, Dr. Todd Moy, he works at UNT, and I know that he has spoken with you guys as well. The class and the research that they did was really just a jumping off point about 5 or 6 years ago to continue with this legacy. So we are going to continue doing this, and I just would like to ask your cooperation. And again, I'm just going to finish by echoing Mr. Willie Hudspeth's comments of let's make sure that we can get some racial justice after over a century of racial injustice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. And then
If you have Emily.
Berdia Johnson wishes not to speak. And then Jamesette Yearby wishes not to speak. So I have those noted.
She's a 13C.
And Cheryl, are those all the forms that were submitted this morning or previously?
For that. We have 13.
Or for item one? And we do have one, yes, and we do
One for
have one
13C.
for 13C. Okay, for Emily Meisner. Okay, perfect, good. All right, thank y'all so much for being here and for your input and your research. We'll be happy to look that over. I was looking down because we were taking notes of the points made by the speakers. So I think that it's important when people do come that we listen to what they have to say and make notes. So we'll follow up with this. All right, next let's go to item 16A. 16A on our agenda is, let me go back to the back here. 16A is a presentation and interpretation of the Texas AgriLife Extension Department's 2023 annual report and volunteer hours check to the county judge and commissioners and any appropriate action. And good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. We're glad to be here today.
We're glad to have you.
Yes, sir. We enjoy being here at the end of the year every year for our annual interpretation event. We hope you enjoyed the breakfast prepared this morning by our 4-H youth and volunteers. I think it gets better every year. We wanted to take a minute to highlight our county extension agents that we have here in the office. So my name is Zach Davis. I'm with Agriculture and Natural Resources. We have Stephen Behringer with 4-H and Youth Development back there in the back. Chandani Kathari with Family and Community Health. And Dusty Fife with Better Living for Texans. So we're very grateful for the wonderful support we have with the Judges and Commissioners Court in Denton County. We are a county department of 9 individuals, but we have hundreds of invaluable volunteers that work tirelessly through our programs. Today we will showcase our program highlights via video, and our Leadership Advisory Board President, Tommy Calvert, will present a check highlighting volunteer service conducted in the county for 2023. We also we'll be handing out some poinsettias today. We wanted to highlight that those are locally grown here in Denton County with Cooper Creek growers, so right off Cooper Creek Road, so we think you'll really enjoy them. Please enjoy our video.
"2023 was a great year for Denton County 4-H. We have experienced an incredible growth in numbers and participation thanks to the hard work of our volunteers, members, and staff. We currently have 302 members and 65 volunteers representing 10 clubs. Our 4-H youth represent Denton County year-round at several different competitions. They can be exhibiting their cattle, lambs, rabbits, or chickens. Or you can find them showcasing their knowledge of food and nutrition, STEM, or performance arts in other events. Our youth are determined to do their best and represent Denton County proudly. Through a partnership with our master volunteers and several schools, we reached 9,996 youth through our programming. Students learn about topics including agriculture, horticulture, and food and nutrition. All of us with Denton County 4-H are excited to continue working hard to live by our motto, to make the best better. This year, our Agriculture and Natural Resources Department reached a diverse audience of traditional ag producers and first-time landowners looking for more. One way we educated small and new landowners was our 2023 Small and New Landowner Conference. 111 attended a great event developed for new people in agriculture. This conference covered important topics to new landowners, including ag property tax evaluation, pasture management, fencing, and insurance. This month, we will host our annual pesticide applicator training recertification course with over 100 people attending. The program is held at the Global Spheres Event Center and sponsors in Corinth. This course provides private and commercial applicators the CEU credits to maintain the license each year. It is fantastic to hear about the impact Agent Dusty Fife and the BLT program have had in Denton County. A fresh start to a Healthier You program in collaboration with Thrive Recreation Center, Little Elm Library, and Louisville Library has successfully helped 39 individuals graduate and make positive changes in their nutrition and overall health. The Walk and Talk program, conducted over 8 weeks with Thrive Recreation Center, Louisville Library, and Brent Elementary, has been equally successful with 95 graduates. This program not only promotes physical activity, but also encourages social interaction and increased fruit and vegetable consumption. The new partnership with Brockett Elementary and the Learn, Grow, Eat, and Go program has made a significant impact on 94 students' lives. By involving the students in building, maintaining, and harvesting gardens, they are not only learning valuable gardening skills, but also gaining a better understanding of where their food comes from. Family and community health was all about providing outreach and building relationships with organizations that equally value the health and well-being of our citizens. In partnership with the North Texas Area Agency on Aging, A Matter of Balance, an 8-week fall prevention program, was conducted at 3 senior sites in Denton County. 30 seniors learned to change faulty habits while also increasing activity levels through exercises that improve strength, balance, and flexibility. Lake Dallas Middle School participated in a Healthy School Recognized study. 850 students participated in the 8-week-long Walk Across Texas Challenge. Altogether, they walked 8,250 miles. That's walking 10 times across the state. We are extremely grateful for the 6 Master Wellness volunteers who reached more than 750 residents through 45 nutrition education programs. This year, our Master Gardener program, made up of 287 volunteers, recorded over 33,000 hours of service throughout the county. Our 213 Master Naturalists volunteered more than 28,000 hours of their time. Our volunteers helped us reach more than 19,000 residents of Denton County. Our annual spring and fall outreach effort, Denton ISD School Days at Clear Creek engaged 4,401 second and fourth graders, where volunteers taught students about fossils, pelts, snakes, and bees, and guided them on nature hikes during their field trip. This department was deeply saddened this year by the loss of our longtime horticulture agent, Janet Laminack. Both volunteer groups are working on projects to honor her impact on Denton County.
It's a great. Tommy, it's good to see you.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. It's always an honor and a privilege, of course, to be with you, and we appreciate this opportunity. As you know, Denton County experienced an extreme drought in 22 and 23. It has affected all those involved in agriculture. Crops, gardens, pastures, all have failed. Cattle have had to be sold due to lack of forage and water. The cattle numbers are the lowest in Texas since 1962. Our production costs continue to rise, and we are still dependent on the weather, as always. But producers are optimistic and will continue to work to provide a food supply safe and abundant for our ever-growing Denton County. We appreciate your support and support of AgriLife Extension. As president of the Leadership Advisory Board, I would like to present Judge Eads and Commissioners and Denton County a check that symbolizes the volunteer service contributed to the county by AgriLife Extension volunteers. As you know, Denton County has more than 1 million residents, and this number continues to grow. As an office of only 9 individuals, it is impossible for the AgriLife staff to reach each Denton County resident through educational programs. This is where the work of AgriLife volunteers comes into play. AgriLife Extension programs rely on help from trained volunteers to not only provide programs and outreach to Denton County residents, but also to help agents identify the educational needs of our community. In 2023, those volunteer groups in Denton County who contributed hours include Master Gardeners, Master Naturalists, Master Wellness Volunteers, the Denton County Ag Committee, the Family and Community Health Committee, 4-H leaders, the Leadership Advisory Board. And at this time, I would like to ask all those volunteers that are here that are not standing up to please stand up so we can recognize them. Without all these great people, it would not be possible. The total number of reported hours was 69,161 hours, which, when multiplied by the independent sector's value of volunteer time at $31.80 an hour, is a value of $2,161,309.38, given back to Denton County. We thank you for your continued support of AgriLife Extension in Denton County and would like to present you with this check.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. All right, let's go down. We'll go down.
Thank you, Judge. Do you want to do a picture? You want to get everybody up for a picture? We've got some poinsettias. If everybody's with AgriLife wants to come forward, we can get y'all in a picture, especially our volunteers. Definitely want y'all.
Too far back here, you won't be able to see it. Don's headed up right now. Don's upstairs right now. Yes, sir. You'll bring the check up just a little bit. Yeah, I'll take one down here and then check one.
I want to tell y'all thank you. And the group assembled here today is just a small representation of those 69,000 hours. And as the Commissioners Court, we often say we couldn't afford to do all of this outreach, and so we count on our volunteers. I think it's good for our volunteers to be out in the community, and this is a great partnership between Texas A&M and the state of Texas as they work with our AgriLife employees, and it's a great partnership, and it's got a great legacy, and I know it's got a great future ahead of it. So I just want to, on behalf of the Commissioners Court and our million residents, thank y'all for what y'all do and all those many programs, and I think that video did a great job of outlining all the different scope of services that you're involved in all across the county in all four corners. And so from our farms and ranches to our urban areas where we have work on programs in our most urbanized areas, I really appreciate, on behalf of the county, I just want to say thank you for all you do. And what a great contribution, and I wish we could cash that. So, good. Thank y'all. I don't think the auditor would take that. All right, good. Thank y'all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yes, absolutely. So glad all you guys came. Thank you, ladies. Everybody have a wonderful holiday. Yes. Now we lost 90% of our people. It's back to reality pretty quick, doesn't it? When you have a big group like that walk out.
You know what's, that's cool. Oh, we got it.
Yeah, they always look really nice.
They put that poinsettia right there, and the view just got better for everyone watching. But I had moved it back out of the way, so I got to see what's going on. Yeah. Where did I put my glasses? Well, let me get my eyeglasses on here. Where did I leave my glasses? Oh, here they are. All right. Well, good. We had a great breakfast with all of our volunteers and the kiddos, and it's great to see them grow up in the organization and come back and see us annually. And we see them at their banquet every year, and it's fun to see them growing up into be great citizens. All right, let's go to, is Frank here? Where's Frank? There's Frank. Frank, let's do your item. Let's kind of go, he is, hey, Frank's over there. We'll go to item 13C, approval of building use request from Emily Meisner, Denton County Democrat Party, for the use of the Stephen Everett Copeland Government Center Conference Room and the Denton County Southwest Courthouse Community Room and the Frisco Government Center, the Louisville Government Center, and Briarwood Camp from 5:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. for the polling locations for the 2024 Democratic primary election and possible runoff election on May 28th, 2024.
Judge, I don't have room in Precinct 3 Government Center or polling center, and I've said that many times.
Yes. Frank, did you want to yes, I understand that, and this was at the request. Let's go ahead and I do realize that is a space concern. We do have Emily Meisner. She did register to speak on behalf of this item. So Emily, are you here? Oh, there you are. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and hear her. Let's go ahead and hear her comments, and Frank will.
I just wanted to say real quick.
Yes.
These are the parties' items, not mine, but
They're right.
I'll answer any questions.
Correct. You're here to answer any questions. I didn't see you standing back there, so. Good morning, Emily.
Morning, ma'am.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Good morning. I'm Emily Meisner. I am the Democratic Primary Elections Administrator. Oh, thank you. There we go. That's much better. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
And thank you for placing this item on the agenda. I know y'all are aware the 2023 legislative changes have greatly impacted the number of polling locations required for the primary election day. The increased pressure to find enough locations for the March 5th primary is a lot on both parties. I'm very appreciative of the use of your approved county facilities to serve as polling locations for the voters, whichever ones you're able to approve.
Yes.
As you're aware, several are too small, however, to be shared by both political parties. So upon request, they usually go to one or the other party based on first-come, first-served basis. The Frisco Government Center, for example, is too small for both parties. Of course, we would both like to use that location each time. The last time we got it, though, was in 2018. This time, the Democrats and Republicans submitted requests at the exact same time, 12 a.m. on the dot. Yet the decision in this case will likely be based on time received and relies on the speed of internet servers. We believe that this location should be allotted to the Democratic Party for the 2024 primary election. Additionally, going forward, I might recommend a more equitable process for distribution of buildings where size is a factor. Alternating parties in alternating primaries would be a more consistent, reliable, and collaborative approach. This procedure is also used by the city of Frisco on the Denton County side. So, for example, if the Democratic Party gets a building for this primary cycle 2024, the Republican Party would get it the following cycle, and vice versa. This would allow a more predictable and fair process. Either way, I appreciate y'all's use, I appreciate the approval, and the collaboration we've had to do this year with shared locations was a lot, but it was really beneficial, so we always keep the voters in mind. Thank y'all for your consideration and for everything you do for the county.
Thank you, Ms. Meisner. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Edmondson.
Thank you. I appreciate your presentation, Emily, and I agree that the Frisco Center is too small for both parties. However, Cheryl, I believe you were the ones who received those requests. Which one got to you first?
The Republican request came in first, and moments later, the Democrat request came in.
Well, I believe our policy is first come, first served. So in this case, I would suggest that we go with the one that got in first, which would be the Republicans.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Mitchell, you would like to strike the Louisville Government Center due to space limitations. Okay. Do we have a motion? Is there any other discussion, or do we have a motion to that effect?
I move that we approve this request with the Louisville Government Center taken out of it.
All right, we have a motion. We have a motion for approval as presented with the striking of the Louisville Government Center. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Judge?
And Frisco.
Yes.
Somebody saying something? And Republicans.
And then the Frisco, what did you want to address? How do we want to address the Frisco?
Oh, I move that it go to the Republicans.
And the Frisco one
Striking
came,
it here.
there's a space limitation on the Frisco as well.
Right.
So,
Similar to Louisville.
and the Republican one came in first, as noted by the aide of the court. So Commissioner, would you like to strike the Frisco as well? It's part of your motion?
Yes.
Okay,
First come, first served, so.
okay.
And perhaps a question, will Briarwood be ready for?
Yes.
They've already voted out there, so.
And there's
Okay.
room for,
Yeah,
there's room
there's
for
room for
two
the-
because of
yeah.
the way that
Got it.
configuration. Okay, so we have a motion for 13C to approve the building use request from the Democratic Party for the use of the Stephen Everett Copeland Center, Government Center Conference Room, the Denton County Southwest Courthouse Community Room, Briarwood Camp from 5:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. for the polling locations for the 2024 Democratic primary election. Okay, so that will scratch out the Frisco and the Louisville Government Center. All right, we have a motion and do we have a second? Seconded by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go back to 13B, which is approval of building use request from Heather Moss, Denton County Republican Party for the use of the Stephen Everett Copeland Government Center Conference Room, the Denton County Southwest Courthouse Community Room, and the Frisco Government Center Meeting Room from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. on March the 5th, 2024 for polling locations for the 2024 Republican primary election and possible runoff election on May 28, 2024. We have a motion by Commissioner Edmondson.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Ma'am?
I said thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, let me go through here. If there's anyone else in attendance I need to take care of. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. We'll go to item 2, which is our consent agenda. Members, are there any items you'd like to pull off the consent agenda, or do we have a motion for approval as presented?
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Mitchell.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, our consent agenda today consists of item 2A, approval of the order making appointments and any appropriate action. Item 2B, the approval of the interdepartmental transfers. Next is item 4A at 9 a.m., a public hearing on December the 12th, 2023 for the replat of the Butterfield Junction addition, Lot 7, Block A. This is 3.045 acres and 8R1. Block D, this is 16.521 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
Move to open, please.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We are in a public hearing. Is there anyone in attendance wishing to speak in favor of or opposed to the replat of the Butterfield Junction addition? Is there anyone in attendance wishing to speak in favor of or opposed to the Butterfield Junction addition? Hearing none, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close.
Motion
Second.
by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Move to approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner
Second.
Williams to approve the replat, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 5A, approval of bill report payments from CSCD, Community Corrections, TAIP, Sheriff's Training, Sheriff's Forfeiture, VIT interest, and DA forfeiture funds are presented for recording purposes only. Mr. May. Hello.
Thank you, Judge. I have no changes today. Recommend approval as presented.
Perfect, thank you.
So
Do
moved.
we have a motion? We have a motion by Commissioner Mitchell.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6A, approve the renewal of the APC Advantage Ultra Service Plan from Gray Bar Electric Company Incorporated in an amount of $68,549.39 through the Omnia Partners Cooperative Contract EV2370.
Move approval.
We have a motion by Commissioner Falconer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6B, approve the renewal of the Cisco Flex Enterprise Agreement subscription from Presidio Network Solutions Group LLC and approve reseller of the Cisco Systems Incorporated in an amount of $100,951.20 through the Texas Department of Information Resources DIR Cooperative Contract DIR TSO 4167.
Move approval.
Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6C, approval to terminate the master service agreement with Quisitive LLC, formerly known as Mazik Global Incorporated, for the vaccination management solution. The chair move for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6D, approval to declare computer equipment listed in Exhibit A as surplus and approval of transfer of sale agreement between Denton County and the town of Copper Canyon for surplus computer equipment amount of $1,500.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 8A, report from Human Resource regarding hiring actions of elected officials. This is presented for recording purposes only. Mr. Hernandez.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. We have one new hire in adult probation, one promotion in adult probation, one new hire in the district attorney's office, two promotions in the district clerk, one promotion in juvenile probation, four new hires in the sheriff's office, all of them are detention officer ones. Two promotions in the sheriff's office, one new hire in the tax office, two promotions in the tax office, and one rehire in the tax office. That's it for this week.
Thank you. Next, let's go to item 8B, approval of the revision of policy 6.12. This is a referral incentive program. I'll hand this off to Gustavo again.
Judge Commissioners, as mentioned last week, the sheriff requested to make some revisions to the policy. I believe the sheriff is here to answer any questions you may have.
Perfect. Good morning, Sheriff. Good to see you.
Good morning. You know, Judge, you and I had a brief conversation about this, and we've had 3 instances so far where someone's been paid for the incentive program, and then the individual that they recommended didn't stay. I don't believe there was any ill will in any of these 3. I don't believe that there were any shenanigans going on.
Yeah.
We just wanted to make y'all aware that it, you know, that there is a opening there for that to happen. I have no issue with it remaining the way it is. I merely wanted to bring it to you guys' attention that that it could be a problem. I don't believe it's a problem now. All 3 of those instances, you know, we have some turnover rate when people get in there and get behind those walls. Sometimes they decide it's not for them, and I completely understand that and get that.
I do too.
I just wanted to make you guys aware of possible future issues with that, but I have no issue either way. This is just me wanting to make you guys aware.
And I'm glad that you did, and I think that's something that we need to be mindful of and watch and see if there is a pattern there. This is a new program. It's just something new that we're trying to be innovative on, and so we're going to be working out any issues. And I appreciate y'all's attentiveness to that and making sure that the referral program is working the best it can be. So, Commissioner
Sheriff,
Edmondson.
Judge, Sheriff, has there been others that it's worked out well? I'm just curious to see how well that program. There have been. I mean, how that program's worked out. Yes. I mean, there's been a lot, and those folks have stayed. Good. And we have, I don't want to waste your time counting. No, you're fine. Just several. Who are in the pipe now, who we're just awaiting them to get their jailer's license. So it's becoming more and more of a popular program. This has been a successful pattern. And the little bit of money that it's cost us for a few that have not is the amount we have coming and have stayed more than outweighs that. So it's been a good business decision. Absolutely. I completely agree with you, Commissioner. But I appreciate just the explanation. That's kind of what last week, unfortunately, you weren't able to be here. Right. That's really what I was concerned. I was just curious. Yes. You know? And once again, don't believe it's happened. I don't believe it's occurred. The folks who I know who recommended these folks who have left us, I have zero doubts in their integrity and their credibility. Right. Yeah. It was just something that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention, something to think about. And I'm glad you did. Not only for us, but countywide, just to make sure we keep an eye on it and it doesn't become an issue. I appreciate that, Sheriff. Thank you so much. Commissioner Edmondson.
Judge, thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that if this was a delayed payment, that it would dramatically reduce the number of referrals?
It may, you know, and that may be an issue as well. If you have to, I mean, I don't know until.
Well, going back to my old headhunter days, we paid a referral fee, but the person had to stay 6 months at that job before we would pay that fee. Right. And people were still very glad to get it. And I know exactly what you're saying. It isn't that they came in and intentionally said, I'm only going to stay a day or two and then would leave. But it just makes sense to make sure that this is a good referral, one that's going to stick before the county pays.
Right, and that's just what I wanted to bring to you guys' attention, that we have not had a problem with it. I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of the potential for abuse that could happen. And Commissioner Williams, you know, it may, once again, could be a detriment as well. If I have to wait 6 months for, what's it, $500, why risk my reputation on someone? I completely get it either way. Just wanted to make you guys aware.
And to go through all that for $500, I'm not saying people won't do that in this world. Right. Because we know they will. Right. But there's a lot that somebody has to go through.
It's a lot of paperwork.
A lot of paperwork, a lot of scrutiny. And I wouldn't put, not many people are gonna put themselves through that.
I agree.
Just to split $500.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely, absolutely. We'd had this come up where, man, they didn't stay very long, and we're like, we'll bring it to your attention.
I appreciate that.
I'm definitely not here to advocate either way. I just want to make you guys
Maybe
aware.
this is something that we continue to monitor, the success, the utilization
Sure.
of it. I think we just monitor the utilization one way or the other, and then we just circle back and continue the conversation.
I would
Is that
recommend.
good for everybody?
Absolutely.
That's what I agree.
Okay,
Absolutely.
perfect. Well,
I'm
thank you,
completely
Sheriff.
on board with
Thank
that.
you, Sheriff,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Let us
Thanks
know.
for what you
Judge,
do.
Commissioners, before the sheriff leaves, because there was another change, they wanted to switch the word license to certification. So I believe the certification requires more work before they can get it versus the license.
Yeah, it's just,
Oh, it's just
right,
correcting
it's just correct T-code terminology. It's just, nothing changes except the terminology.
Okay, the chair moved to amend the policy
Second.
for the
Perfect, thank
grammatical.
It just helps us when
Yeah,
we're looking at it.
absolutely. Let's keep it consistent.
I'll
Yes.
second.
All right, with second by
We
Commissioner
know-
Williams.
We know T-code knows everything, so.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you,
Thanks,
Gustavo,
Sheriff.
for mentioning that
Gustavo.
8C, this is a approval of the revision to the HR policy 6.4 incentive pay. Gustavo, did you want to outline that one again?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Last week I brought this policy before you for approval to the changes. There are two parts on this revision. One is the number of times that we will submit it to the Treasurer's Office for payment once the employee obtains the degree. Today, we do it twice a year. We are asking the court to allow us to do it 4 times a year. I talked to the payroll department, and she's willing to do it, and she's on board with this. The second part of this revision is the form that needs to be submitted. Today, the department head or elected official is required to sign the form. What we are asking the court is to eliminate that step, and rather than the department head signing the authorization, we will notify the department once we process the paperwork. And I talked to many elected officials at department heads, and they are all glad to do it.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
All right,
Judge,
yes, Commissioner.
This is a case where I feel exactly the opposite of what I said to the sheriff, because these are people who have put out their own money to get a degree or whatever, and they have to wait half a year, sometimes a year before they get repaid. I think we've got to move that along.
Yep.
Because otherwise, who's going to put out their thousands of dollars? So I personally approve. Yeah.
Okay,
And I think the paperwork side of it has changed over the years, right? So it's, as you said, it's not a problem to do it quarterly.
Nobody has rejected the request. We just have to wait for the April and October date to do it, but, I mean, we are just trying to make a shorter waiting time.
I'm hurrying. All right, do we have a motion for approval?
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Next is 9A, approval of memorandum of understanding between Denton County WIC and the Ann Wendell School for Young Children Head Start Program and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 9B, approval of the revisions to the Denton County Human Service Organization Funding Policy. This is something administered by the Health Department. The chair moved for approval. Second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is the 12A, approval of the 2023-2024 interlocal agreement for law enforcement services between Denton County Transportation Authority, the DCTA, and Denton County.
Move to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 12B, approval of the 2023-2024 interlocal agreements between Denton County and the City of Justin, the Elm Ridge Water Control and Improvement District of Denton County, and the Town of Hickory Creek Police Department for the use of the Denton County Radio Communication System. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 13A, approval of the United Way of Denton County Incorporated funding request to fulfill the allocation of American Rescue Plan for housing assistance, nonprofit assistance, and food assistance due to COVID-19 and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 13D, approval of request to accept the grant funding for the Office of Justice Programs and the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the BGA, for the fiscal year 2023 State Criminal Alien Assistance Program, an amount of $262,282 awarded under grant number 15PBJA23RR08903 CSAA, and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 13E, approval to request to submit an application for travel stipends for the Certified Local Government of Texas, the CLG, in the amount of $1,200 per person to aid in the cost of the Director and Assistant Director to attend the National Alliance for Preservation Commissioners Forum 2024, the conference in Florida from July 31st through August the 4th, 2024. The chair move for approval. Second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14A, approval to submit the annual electronic reporting form in compliance with Senate Bill 1812, demonstrating Denton County, Texas authorization to exercise the power of eminent domain in Texas. The chair move for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we're going to pull item 14B per John Felt. We're going to pull that. All right. Next, let's go to 14C. This is approval of the biennial reappointment of Brad Sebastian as Denton County Fire Marshal for a term not to exceed 2 years with the initial effective date of January the 6th, 2022, and a biennial reappointment effective January the 6th, 2024. Number 2, require the fire marshal to post a bond as required by the Commissioners Court in the amount of $3,000, condition that the fire marshal will faithfully and strictly perform the duties of the office in accordance with the Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 352.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14D, approval of to rescind previously approved amendment number 1 to the Verity Master Agreement with Hart Civic Incorporated, the court order number 2301058, signed on December the 5th, 2023, and number 2, to replace that action with adoption and approval of amendment number 1 to the Verity Master Agreement with Hart Civic Incorporated, as recommended by Kevin Carr, Chief Information Officer, and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go to item 7.
Judge?
Yes.
Do you mind if I ask you a question about 14C? Are those years right on that effective date? It looks like maybe that's the one he's in today, and we should
So
be.
should it be 2024 to 2026?
No?
Or is that correct?
Well, but this is a reappointment, so it should start when he's in currently ends, right?
24 to 26?
I think it should be 24 to 26.
Is that right or wrong? So it's a reappointment because he's already in the 22 to 24.
It says as with the initial effect.
So the initial started in 2022.
The key word is
ends in 2024. We're redoing it for 2024.
and
Okay.
it's outlining the initial. Yeah.
Does it?
Sorry, Kevin he's over here making me second guess myself.
Yeah, that's
no,
right.
I'm kidding.
Sorry.
I'm kidding.
Sorry.
I was like, I thought I read that right, but he's,
We could try to word it
it's all
more
Kevin's fault.
artfully
No,
next
no.
time,
That's
but,
all right. Kevin already admitted it's his fault.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just playing.
It's
Yeah,
the initial. Good question.
No, just want to
excellent
make
question.
sure.
I hear you.
We don't want to be done in
No.
January 6th of the next year.
That's right.
Or
Good.
24.
good
We don't want
comment.
you to done at the end of the.
All right, let's go to item 17, which is community updates. We'll start with Commissioner Precinct 1.
I have none, sir.
All right. Commissioner Falconer.
Thank you, Judge. So we still got a lot of holiday events. So starting in Carrollton, we have Christmas at the Perry Museum on December 14th at 5:30. And we have a Wind Symphony Winter Concert on the 15th at 7:30 at Newman Smith High School. Those are incredible, and they're free. So if you can make it, that would be great. And then December 18th, Opening Doors exhibit, Contemporary African American Surgeon starts, and that is at the Carrollton Libraries, and all day from the 18th through the 27th of January. Crossroads is having their holiday market and Winterfest December 16th, 9 to 2, and that's at Fish Trap Road and 4242. Then Frisco, we have Walnuts Wassail Walk, 14th at 6 o'clock at the Heritage Museum. Home on the Range for the holidays at the PGA Frisco. That's the 15th, 16th, 22nd, 23rd, starting at 5. And Shady Shores, letters to the North Pole every day. Drop your letters off at 101 East Hunley, and then the Colony, Santa's Magical Meet and Greet on the 18th, Grandscape, starting at 3 to 5. And I also want to just thank Shady Shores. They invited me last night to their council meeting and to meet and greet and share with them a little bit about what the county does, and appreciated that opportunity to do that in Shady Shores.
Good. Commissioner Mitchell.
I have a frozen river run on December the 16th at the CAC and Community Activity Center in Flower Mound on the 16th, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. That's going to be cold. Santa routes is still going on in Holland Village through the 15th. Castle Hill is still having their village shops every Saturday, 9 to 1 p.m. Also in, those are all gone. Neighborhood Grant Workshop in Louisville, December the 12th. Community Conversation, Community Development Block Grant in Louisville, December the 12th. And that's today, so if you haven't registered, you may not get in. A Chance to Dance, Winter Formal, December the 15th at Thrive in Louisville, and Christmas at the Cabin on December the 16th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Layla in Louisville. And that's all I have.
Perfect, good, thank you. Commissioner Edmondson.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to start at the back end of my list with what's going on in Trophy Club, Wreaths Across America, which is a wonderful thing. Volunteers will place wreaths on veterans' graves in Midland Cemetery on the 16th from 11 until noon. And they're having Toys for Tots in Trophy Club as well, December 1st through the 15th, 8 to 5 at the Trophy Club Police Department. You can drop off an unwrapped toy there. And then let's, thank you for mentioning the Frozen River Run, Commissioner. That sounds like a real fun thing if you like being cold.
We're going to do that?
No, I'm not going to do that.
You can't wait to miss it. Here's
the one I'm going to do, cookies and cocoa to go.
Okay.
This is in Denton at the Denia Rec Center, and it's a first come, first serve. Drive-through serving individually wrapped cookies and hot cocoa. This is the first time to do this, and so first come, first serve on that. Then they also are doing Wreaths Across America in Denton on December 16th at 11 a.m. On Prairie Street. And then we have also this one. Now, I'm going to do this one, Bobby.
Okay.
The 50-plus Ugly Sweater Christmas Luncheon. And this is going to be at the American Legion Hall. I actually saw, when we were in Branson recently, I saw the perfect ugly sweater. I just didn't buy it. But I think it'll be a fun time. So that's what we got going in Precinct 4.
Perfect, good. I want to do some congratulations this morning. Congratulations to the Braswell's Wind Symphony Band for being one of 6 high school bands in the U.S. to be chosen to attend the Midwest Clinic and the first ever Denton ISD band to reach this national championship level. So congratulations to those young kids. And also congratulations to the Northwest High School swimming and diving team over in Justin for breaking 5 of the TISCA records for the girls and boys 200-meter relay, the girls and boys 100 breaststroke, and the girls 400 freestyle relay. And so the boys 200 medley relay was a 15-year-old record broken, and that is awesome. So congratulations to our students out at Northwest High School. And I want to give a shout out to the Town of Trophy Club, to their finance department for achieving the Certificate of Achievement and Excellence in Financial Reporting by GFOA for the 11th year. So congratulations to them. And our Liberty Christian Warrior cheerleaders over in Argyle, and they won their 10th state championship in a row. So go Warriors, so happy for them. So let's go to executive session. It's for 15A, Texas Government Code 551074A1, personal matters, closed meeting, deliberate the appointment, employment evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee for the following positions: aide to Commissioners Court, Director of Development Services, Director of Office of Emergency Management, Denton County Fire Marshal, Director of Human Resources, Denton County County Administrator, and a Denton County Veteran Service Officer. And 15B, under Texas Government Code 55107455A1, personnel matters affecting the county advisory body, closed meeting to deliberate the appointment, employment evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a member of an advisory body to wit the MHMR Board of Directors. And it is 10:10, and we are executive session.